Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the wild, weird, and wacky world of the Word. Yeah, I'm sitting here next to our wood stove, just trying to stay warm because it's 0 outside right now, and the wind chill, it's probably just getting pretty close to 20 below right about now. Pretty nasty out there, so I'll stay put right here. But hey, uh, we're talking about wild, weird, and wacky things in our scripture. And what do we have going on? Well, in our gospel reading for this coming Sunday, I found two things that are interesting. So much of what's wild, weird, and wacky deals with translation issues, translating from the original languages that these were written in, our scriptures, into our English. And probably the same thing goes on with translating into other languages as well. But let's just deal with the English translations. So the original languages are Hebrew, Greek. Uh, then we also have some Aramaic thrown in there, and then you might even want to put Latin in there because a lot of things were translated into Latin later, and some of that kind of shows up, especially in the King James version. So what's the issue that we have going on today? Well, Matthew the fifth chapter, verses 13 through 16, shows us one instance of something that's wild, weird, and wacky. And here it is. Jesus says, "You are the salt of the earth." Who's the salt of the earth? You are. Well, who's you? Is he pointing at one particular disciple? Is he pointing at one person in the audience? Or is he talking to everybody in the audience? That word you in the English is kind of funky. It can go either way, right? It can be singular or plural. It's a second person pronoun. Now, the Greek is very specific. The Greek says this is a plural pronoun. So maybe what we need to do is change all the translations in our Bibles to say something like, now, y'all are the salt of the earth. Yeah, y'all, why not? We kind of do it in some instances in our vocabulary, English vocabulary, but no. So it's important because what that does is it's talking about when Jesus is saying that we are the salt of the earth. This is a communal thing. It's not just an individual thing. No, what's important is that all of us together are the salt of the earth. We make a difference together. Okay? So keep that in mind. Then you have another thing that goes on a little bit later, and that has to do with, is Jesus actually giving us a command? You are the salt of the earth. Now go out there and be good salt. No, he's being descriptive. You are salt. Okay? That's just the way you are. God has made you, as you being part of this kingdom, you are salt. You are one of his children. And salt is part of who you are. What? It's kind of weird, isn't it? Well, he's using it as a metaphor, but he's saying you already are. You don't have to prove yourself. Now, all you need to do is go out and be it. All right. A little bit later, though, he says, "Let your light shine." Wait a minute, because he said you are the light of the world. But now he says, "Let your light shine." What's going on there? That sounds more prescriptive, like a command. And it is a command. However, once again, we run into an issue of translation into our English versions. And really, there's no good, easy way to do it. I went through about 20 different biblical versions of the Bible, and every one of them says, "Let your light shine." And it's a problem because this is an imperative, but it's not a second person imperative like you let your light shine. It's a third person imperative. So Jesus isn't speaking to the crowd, even he's not even speaking to individuals in that crowd. So it's not the singular or plural second person. It's a third person imperative. He's speaking to the light itself. Light, shine on. You know, isn't that weird? Yeah. So what it does, it helps us understand some of the nuances of what goes on within the Newer Testament, especially in the Sermon on the Mount, where later on you see, and we'll have it in our Lenten services on Ash Wednesday, when Jesus basically tells you, don't go doing stuff and be bragging about it. Wait a minute, you just told us to let our light shine. Aren't we supposed to do that? No, what he's telling us to do is be what I created you to be, light. Just be light, be yourself, love other people as you are supposed to as a child of God. And he's not commanding it so much as he's saying that's who you are. Just do it. So a lot of the issues that we get into where we say, well, there's conflicting viewpoints in the scripture. Well, yeah, sometimes there are, but sometimes there really aren't. It's a matter of translation from those original languages into our English. It just doesn't go all that smoothly. So Jesus says, you are the light of the world, meaning you, me, y'all's the light of the world. We are. And then he gives that strange command through the light. Shine. He's giving it to the light. Interesting. Fascinating. Well, I want you to stay warm this weekend because it's going to be a bit chilly. But don't forget, there are warmer days coming, even later on this week. God's blessings be with you.